You know, I've been to Uganda as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so my dad is Indian.
Yeah.
But born and raised in Uganda. And then my mum is mixed. My mum's Ugandan and British.
Yeah. Oh, what part of Uganda?
Central Uganda, so Chugwe, which is just outside Mukono. So we're from town.
So is that like part of the kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. You know, I like those vibes.
Like, is that part of the kingdom? Shit, I see now how people be telling other people they're princesses. I'm like, I'm part of the kingdom, guys.
Yeah, even in Kenya, we actually do have a monarchy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Western Kenya, the Wanga Kingdom, I believe. That's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
And how are the Wanga men? What is the Wanga Kingdom about?
So I don't know much about them, but I know the former Prime Minister, the late Right Honorable. Apparently, his lineage is also from that kingdom. Okay. But it's Luo. But the Wangas they're Luyas, the Bantus, you know.
Yeah, but we love
the
Bantu, so that's fine.
Yeah, I also studied in Uganda, like I was telling you off air. Yeah.
To Kaboja.
Kaboja. You know about Kaboja?
I do know about Kaboja.
Yeah.
Did you get beat at school?
No. I used to beat people.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I used to play rugby.
I know Kaboja is strict. That's what I know about Kaboja. It's strict.
Yeah. Sasa, so welcome. It's good to have you here. Welcome to Nairobi as well. So maybe you can tell folks what you do and why you love doing what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Mz Karmali, and I am a spoken word poet. And I'm in Nairobi because I've just launched my second album, which is it's kind of like lo-fi friends to lovers story. And I'm here to just see what's poetry in Nairobi.
Yeah.
I have an event in Kampala called Poetry in Session. It's the longest standing open mic night in Kampala. So we've had lots of amazing poets from Nairobi come. Like the main one I would say being Checkmate Middo. He's an amazing artist, poet, beatboxer. And so it's now time for us to like start coming to Nairobi and see what you guys are about. And so, yeah, just excited to see poetry and the poets here. That's why I'm here, really. Yeah,
poetry is really big in Nairobi. It's actually a growing industry. And I've hosted a bunch of poets over here. We love to, just meditate on words and that kind of thing. So when did you actually get into poetry?
So I've been into literature since I was a kid, probably like English literature. But actually, when I moved back to Uganda about 17 years ago, we used to have an event called Spoken Truth, which was for MCs to cipher. And then some of us were like, we want to be poets. So we kind of came on stage and did that. And then that's where Poetry in Session kind of came from. So I've been into poetry for a long time, but like making platforms and doing that kind of thing, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a part of my entire existence and like where I've come from. So in Kampala as well, there was like a very small poetry scene, but now it's thriving and growing, and it's a place, so many different aspects of it to enjoy, which I want to see in Nairobi, from kids expressing themselves to kind of grown people talking about politics, and then like people like me who talk about ancestral stuff, but also just, something sexy, something different. It's not all about singing sometimes. I've
listened to some of your work. Yeah, shout outs to Binti Africa. She shared with me your work.
Okay, nice.
I think you're so good, and it's so effortless how you go about your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you put a lot of work into it or what?
So I've always loved like performance. So I'm really into like curating things and directing things. So vocally, I'm not like a singer, but in terms of speaking, I think I do take a lot of time and attention. And every writer has their own thing. And I think my thing is, I don't know, describing difficult corners or something like that, and making it as easy to listen to as possible. Like, everything all good things come from change, but change doesn't always have to sound like this huge, like ravenous thing that's coming to take you. So yeah, I work on my voice a lot, and I always try and keep it so that people always feel safe if they listen to my stuff. I hope that people feel safe or carried, not traumatized.
I love that, yeah. So, and I know there's a bunch of folks who want to listen to your work. Maybe you can drop for us a piece.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got you off guard.
Okay, we can do it. We're confident. This is our work. We can do this.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what comes up. Anything.
Okay, so I want to pick something that's not got dirty words in it, right?
Fair enough.
Well, I'm asking you.
I mean, that's why I said it's okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm like, so, okay, this one has no dirty words in it, so I'll pick this one.
Sure.
This is the last song off my album.
Yeah.
And it's like the culmination of when you've kind of accepted your person, that awkward moment where everything goes quiet, but somehow you feel peaceful and not awkward or strange or lonely, maybe. And I think a lot of the times we can feel really lonely even when we're with people. So
I agree.
when you hit the spot that you're not feeling lonely, it's probably a good time to stay there a little bit. So this is called Euphoria.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. Whew, girl. Okay, Euphoria. Let hollowed spirits rest. Night dance into blissful abyss. Stop half-hearted and dip toes into hot springs. Slow dance into mindless whispers. Slur words into blurred lines of fairy tale picture books. Wrap strong hands around fragile bodies and emit heat, slow spreading into metaphoric cocoons. Feign safety. Love me immortal. Second heaven kiss me, cloud mind and spirit with hazy well wishes. Seed me with invisible babes. Roll eyes back into dreamlands. Replace reality for fantasy. Relax and let lungs deflate into rib cages until Play-Doh putty versions breathe osmosis. Reality bleeds haphazard into mental headspace, and moist lips consummate. We evaporate into each other's skin. Keep me here in the bandages of euphoria, where lullabies sweep over reality and trickle the fringes of insanity into revelation.
I love
That's
it.
one. Is that one good?
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. You have such an amazing voice as well.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, I read your bio and your profile, and you describe your work as rituals of resonance, intimate and transformative, a meeting point between word, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
So what sort of rituals do you usually have before, you curate your work or before you get onto the stage?
Okay, so I think that's two questions. Before I create the work I think that's probably a ritual just in itself. And I think many women, men, like people know these rituals. It's like, what do you do when you bathe and you really think about what you want? When you burn candles, when you're alone. And so one of the pieces on my album is called Bedouin. And I guess that's a ritual in itself. It's like the ritual of succumbing to yourself and asking what's for you and then receiving it in however you speak to your divine God space or stuff like that. And then, I think rituals make themselves, right? So if I find myself lighting a candle, having a bath or different things like that, those are the rituals, that kind of happen. Rituals before I perform, definitely warming up my voice. I'm not a singer, so I sing my ass off for like 20 minutes and just let rip and let my voice get nice and warm like I have today. Yeah, that's probably my routine.
I love it. And you also resurrect hidden stories, so to speak, from your work.
Yeah.
What sort of stories do you feel compelled to tell often?
I think my first album, maybe if I get to share another one, I'll share one of those stories specifically. But so my first album is very much about like being a part of the diaspora and figuring out who you are and how you want to walk. What was the question again? Say again.
Resurrecting, hidden stories, from the past.
I was like, he's using my words against me.
And what sort of what stories do you feel compelled to say often, again and again?
I think, so for my work specifically, I hope, my work isn't about telling the story, but it's telling the feeling of my story.
Right.
Yeah. And because my story is not specific.
Yeah.
It's about, our parents who left Africa and took us to other places, and what does it mean to reconnect to those spaces and tell those stories. But I personally don't necessarily try to tell a linear story. I try to tell the feeling of the story, because I think that's where a lot of us can resonate, like in migration, in leaving your family, in finding home, or who you are via where you've come from, you know. And then, in my more recent work, you know, this album is a love story, obviously. And then in my more recent work, I think just really telling the story of migration. Actually, I think I'm probably an evidence of many places in one person and what it means to like navigate that. Yeah. But I don't think I'm alone in that. Like,
what do you mean stories of migration? What feelings do you get when you tell these kinds of stories?
Stories of migration include self-migration, which is probably what does it mean to come home? What does it mean to feel home or identify home when everyone kind of wants to tell you that you're not fully from a place and fully from a place?
Right.
And I think what people like about my work is I reject that. And I'm like, I embody all those places.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to talk me small by saying that I can't migrate through places and spaces and people and own them. But I embody all those things. So migration it's about migration of self, but also the literal migration of like black bodies that have crossed oceans just for us to have so many things that just like, how do we use those things now in a way that doesn't systematically put them down, right? So also that physical migration. What does it mean to be a child of someone who is from a poor village in Uganda who went to England and then put me through school? Now I come back as what? Right? Like I've understood where I come from, but like, how do you bridge that? I think that's the migration I talk about.
While you're speaking, I'm reminded of a book by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's called Lessons of History. And he was talking about Whispers of a Thousand Generations. Yeah, so when you trace your roots, or when you talk about your migration stories, there's a lot of energies that go about that, you know, because you didn't start this whole conversation. There was people who have this similar energies to yours who can be traced to your bloodlines. Yeah. Do you feel the same? Do you feel like there was somebody who had your exact same energies from somebody from your bloodline who's similar to Mz Karmali?
Karmali. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like 100%.
Yeah.
We're always joking that so I'm a photographer and a poet, but actually that come from my white side. But I use that as my banner of freedom for like my colored side, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so we have in my family there's a very famous, she's one of the first Victorian poets to be documented because she was institutionalized for writing too many poems about her lover and her queer family. So I feel like I resonate with her a lot, you know, although I haven't been institutionalized yet. Dreams can come true.
Yeah. So, how has living in Kampala shaped your spiritual, political, social part of writing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know, how do things shape you when you are it? Like, I was born 1986, so I think it's not about shaping, but it's about always being an evidence of the good things from where you come from. Like, Kampala is a beautiful, wonderful place. Like, we've been through so many things. Like, even war, like, doesn't take away the spirit of, like, community.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk about, I think, you know. Doesn't really matter where, like, Kampala is my evidence of the one place that's always called me home. I never had to say I'm coming home. It's the place that, you know, when someone comes to pay my bride price, the village is ready. They're like, girl, that girl was crying here for us. Like, you better come and give us our money. So, I don't know how it shapes you when you are it. I think it's more about when you are old enough to be an evidence of the best parts of a place and actively speak out about the things that are uncomfortable without making people unsafe.
Yeah, I like that. Kampala gives me vibes for it has such a Pan-African energy to me. This whole monarchy thing and people kneeling down, and then and even the way people dress in Kampala. You know, and I like it. I like it. So you know, you talk about your work making people feel like they're vulnerable. You know, you create a feeling of intimacy in the room.
Hopefully,
you know,
yeah,
that's good stuff. But how do you do it?
Gosh. Just lay in my bed and think about some stuff.
How do you go about this?
I think it's an energy, and everyone has energy, you know, like I've got friends on radio. A lot of my friends, like you mentioned, Binti Africa is my manager, right? She is like literally a ball of energy wrapped in energetic energy.
She's dope, yeah.
All right? And like when she's on stage, it's all about like, it brings you out from your chest. I love to command silence. You know, I love when I can feel people listening. So, you know, I think it's just all about the energy that you want to command. And like, I always think about how I want people to feel. So when I'm performing, it's more about like just getting into a headspace and being like, how do I want people to feel? Like, do I want people to feel intimate? And the answer is always yes for me. So I think that sometimes, and that's the beautiful thing about poetry. Like poets, we can say something a step after a singer can, you know, right? And sometimes it takes a little bit of intellect to actually, and then we're halfway between a singer and a rapper. So you just got to kind of sit there and listen for a second and you'll catch the nuance of it. So silence is one of those things I think poets love.
Is there like a poet that you wrote that made you feel a bit scared and worried, maybe because you were too honest?
No, I mean, have you heard my album, the one she just said?
Yeah, I heard a few of them, a few pieces.
That's a bit on. I don't know if I could get any more honest than that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not really also about me as just me. Like, I love that I have friends and peers and always been someone where people are not afraid to tell me, like, how they're feeling about things. And so sometimes when you reflect on, like, how we all feel the same way, it's not about just describing it. It's about, like, really pressing the nerve of it and just being brave enough to be like, we all feel that sensitive.
I like that. You know, I was listening to an interview with Erykah Badu. She was being hosted in a platform. And then she was talking about how these days she's a bit scared of being on social media and putting her work out on social media. She says the audience these days is a bit too vicious, like they're bloodthirsty. Because, you know, I don't know about the internet streets in Uganda, but in Kenya, these guys are bloodthirsty. They want you to act some type of way. You know, they want you to be disciplined. They can cancel you. What's your relationship with your social media and the internet? Are you okay with just putting out your work, or you're a bit cautious?
I think about my work.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would never be cautious about putting out my work because it's the truth. We can't like, if someone's gonna love it or hate it or like criminalize you or cancel you, this is my purpose. So I'm not ever gonna feel that. Like I feel good about that side of things. That if people didn't like it, I wouldn't do it anymore. But yeah, I don't know how I feel. I think me as myself, I've always been a curator. So my Instagram and my social media has always been about me showing people like what I see in other creatives and other poets. So I guess maybe I'm blessed enough not to have experienced that other side of things, and I would hope to continue not to experience that, just because I think, I always want where I am to be a platform that makes other people shine or see. Sometimes people have to say something that is not comfortable. It does not mean they're like a bad person. Like, I hosted my event poetry in session. People come and talk about politics. Everyone has differing opinions. People can come and talk about Indian culture and how they don't like it. It doesn't mean you have to cast and throw that person out. That person has a right to express themselves respectfully. So, I don't really take negative stuff on in that capacity, because I think it usually says more about the people that are saying it. Yeah. And anyone who's not going to listen to your work after that. But, you know, Miss Badu did also write Fans, Friends, Foes, Def Jam Poetry, that performance.
That was amazing.
So that's one of my favorite ones. And I feel like she's just reiterating what she already taught us about way back then, you know.
And do you think it's a good time for artists, in the sense that, you know, there's a lot of, there's too many tools that you can use to enhance your art. For example, you know, AI and that kind of thing. Do you think that's good for art, or it's cheapening art?
I think it too shall pass, right? Like, let there be an AI voice. Like, we can hear it, right? That too is going to pass. Like, there's nothing digital that can evoke, I think. Like, there's this album who is it? Protege or someone, and Rihanna, and it's fake. It's AI.
Oh, for
so
real?
I listened to the first song and I was like, this is a jam. This is all right.
Yeah.
When I listened to the next song and the next song, I'm like, Riri's not like slapping. That's not her voice. You couldn't hear the soul in it. You couldn't hear the meaning inside the words. So I feel like let AI do its thing. Like you're not going to feel the meaning in those. It's going to expire as well.
Yeah.
As much energy as we put into something is what it's going to give us back.
Yeah.
So let's let it do its thing. AI, I'm a fan of AI in different aspects. It's such an amazing way to help advance yourself, cut out a lot of things that are difficult for artists or people in general. But I don't really think it's a threat unless we make it a threat.
It's true. I also feel like these days people actually want proper human connection. Like people yearn for real stuff,
Yeah.
So,
and the truth is that like music has changed so much. Like commercializing music has changed so much that it's become really dead. And it's just going to become easier to hear the soul in things and stay where you are. We don't always have to put filters on things and stuff like that. I think that that age is going to come and go real quick.
Awesome. All right, hold it right there. Guys, we are on Culture Kitchen hanging out with the one and the only, the icon, Mz Karmali. She's a spoken word artist. And we're talking when poetry becomes ancestry, the unseen forces that shape us. Sounds deep. Sour. Protege. 10 can row. It's 1:45 the top of the hour. We're coming back in just a bit.
More of the classics and the hits you love. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.